Hey, welcome back everybody. I think this is day 4 of our rebuild for the Norwood LM30 sawmill base. There's Ellie, sticking around, being a good girl. As you just saw in the video, I just finished securing the 2 lap joints on each beam and secured it to the cross beam that sits underneath it. Everything's lined up, everything's ready to go. You also saw me cutting some boards. Those boards are going to go to attach all these 3 pieces on each leg together. So I'm going to have one for each one. I'm going to go ahead and put those on right now. All right, there it is. I'll call this sawmill deck 3.0. Of course, the first one was a temporary setup anyway. I always had plans to move that one, but the second setup I had here previous to this particular setup, it just wasn't cutting it, just didn't do the job. I'm thinking this is going to be much better setup. Let me just kind of go over what I did here. So first of all, on the base, I used my laser level, my Bosch laser level, to make sure that my ground was level. I found that this end of the sawmill here apparently was always down quite a bit. I mean, you can't really tell there, but it's probably at least 2, maybe 3 inches. So I did have to bring in a little bit of dirt. Also, I used these grid pads here. I'm not sure if that's the name for them or not, grid pads, but basically they're designed to go underneath lawns and or driveways where heavy material or heavy items will be driven over them, because they hold dirt, each of these little squares, and when you lock them all together, it adds quite a bit of weight, kind of levels everything off real nice. So I used these. I had these laying around and weren't being used for anything at the moment, so I thought I'd try them. They turned out to be the perfect width, about 39 inches. And so from there, you can see at the top here, I used my concrete blocks. I filled those with dirt, and I did not attach those to the ground in any way other than filling them with dirt. I'm hoping that with the weight of the whole setup as it is, I shouldn't need, hopefully, it won't move basically, unless I get bumped or hit, which is also always a likelihood. But so then from there, on the concrete blocks I filled with dirt. I also built boxes around them to lock them together. Now, I didn't put dirt in the middle here. I may go around and do that just to keep them a little more locked in. But from there, I had these pressure treated 4x6s that I had previously purchased. They were sitting under the old log sawmill setup landing deck. So I cut those up, put them across the top. I had previously cut some 6x6s with the previous sawmill setup. So those are what those are, 6x6. And I locked all three pieces together with this outside piece right here. And this kind of locks the 6x6 with the 4x6 and the base that goes around the concrete blocks here. So everything is theoretically locked together in one form or another. Then I also put some lag screws on the inside of each beam, so that locks it down real tight. So I think that's going to be, well, I know it's going to be a much better setup than the old sawmill deck that I had there. I'm hoping I'm going to have to bring in a little dirt here and just a little bit more work, but I'm ready to put the sawmill on here now. So I don't know if I'll get to that today. I may wait for tomorrow. We're supposed to have one more nice day here. I may end up just waiting for tomorrow to get that put on. But I don't know. We'll see how I feel here in a few minutes. I'll make a decision on if I want to get started on that or not. At any rate, I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I'm looking forward to getting the sawmill set up on here again and get it fired up and start making some lumber. So that was primarily my reason for wanting to really get this done before winter. Is I knew the previous setup just wasn't gonna produce the product that I'd been cutting some lumber, and we're just having some trouble overall with some things that I wanted to address, and this was one of them. So we'll get this out of the way. The next project, once I get the sawmill put back on, I'm going to do some more 6x6s and make a new log deck. That's going to need to be redone. I've got some ideas on how I want to do that, and that works really well. I kind of like the log deck, even though I can put logs on with the tractor. I also like having logs loaded on the log deck that I can just roll on without firing up the tractor too. So at any rate, still got a beautiful afternoon here, well into the 70s. We're just enjoying the afternoon, getting some projects done here in Maine. So I won't conclude this video. I will get the sawmill set up. We'll show you what it looks like when it's all done, and then we'll call that a project. Thanks for joining us for the day, and we'll start back up in the next video.